Today's September 21st. When I'm filming this video, refresh the screen, I can see that I've spent $85.33 with the purchases conversion value of $566. My name is Tanner, and in this video right now, I'm going to show you how to run paid ads for digital products, and more specifically, my meta ads testing strategy. So in my last video, I showed you how to start dropshipping digital products on Shopify, and at the end, I said if this video gets over 500 likes, I will make a video showing you my paid ads testing strategy for digital dropshipping. And you guys absolutely crushed it, so thank you for the support. We got over 500 likes, and now, as promised, in this video, I'm going to break down my testing strategy. And when we break down the strategy, there's really three main components we're going to be focusing on. One is going to be the actual campaign structure, two is going to be the ad creative structure, and three is going to be the ad copy structure. And also, just as a little bonus, I'm going to throw in and show you my landing page structure so that you can hopefully replicate it for yourself. And just as a little by the way here, what I'm about to show you is what I'm currently doing for a new case study store that I started at the beginning of this month. It's a simple one product store selling a low ticket digital item, and it's in a niche I know close to nothing about, and I'm not connected to it in any way. So it's not my own program, my own course, my own book. I'm not in the marketing. It's something completely anonymous, and it's done over $3,000 in sales so far, just using the strategies I'm showing you in this video today. And the reason I started this store is to document it for a future case study for my students. Let's go ahead and get into it. Part one here is my campaign structure. How do I actually set up the campaigns on the Meta Ads platform to successfully test a product and make a sale so I know that my offer can actually work? And this is exactly how I did it for my new case study store. And actually, this is a strategy I've really used and the framework for years, and it's always performed the best for me because there's no bias in the spending. And that'll make more sense here in a second, because what I'm doing is creating a campaign optimizing for conversions. And I'm optimizing for conversions because that's what I want. I want to make a sale, multiple sales. I don't want to get website traffic, video views, add to carts. I want to go directly for conversions and for purchases more specifically. And another option you're going to have when you're creating your campaign is going to be setting a budget at the campaign level or at the ad set level. And when testing, I always like to choose the ad set level because there's no bias in the spending. And what I mean by that is that if I create one campaign here and I set the budget to $100 per day, and I have 4 ad sets and these 4 different ad creatives, 2 images, 2 videos, then that money is going to spend sporadically. It's not going to spend 25, 25, 25, 25. It's going to spend 30, 5, 10, whatever it decides to optimize for. And when starting completely from scratch without any data on your pixel or any ad spend yet on the ad account, it's not going to know what to do. It's not going to know what's really going to work because it's just starting out right now. So what I like to do instead is set the budget at the ad set level so that I know that if I'm spending $30 per day on this ad set and I just have one creative under that ad set, it's going to spend that budget every day just directly towards that only. It's not going to split it up. It's only towards that. Now, when I first started this case study store, I was testing something I had never really done that much, which was putting my daily budget at 100% of the margin. So I had roughly a $30 profit margin. It's a digital product. That's what I sell it for. So I just put that as my budget. I'm definitely more aggressive and optimistic when it comes to advertising. And I put a little asterisk next to this because I said, don't do this budget unless you're willing to lose money. Ideally, and what I've seen work better now, is just putting it back to around 1/3 of your profit margin as the daily budget. So if I have a $30 profit margin, put the daily budget at $10 per day. So that way it has a couple of days to actually optimize and spend before it becomes technically unprofitable for you. But this is how I started it, so I'm just going to show you anyways. And then once I had my campaign created, my ad sets created, each at $30 per day, I didn't go in each of these and change the targeting and put interest 1, interest 2, interest 3, interest 4. I did completely open targeting. No interest, no breakdown by placement, by age, by gender, because I've found that just open targeting has performed the best for meta ads testing when starting something completely from scratch. And that's exactly what I did here. The only thing that I change is the location of what I'm actually targeting. Now, for me personally, in this new case study store, I did a little bit of spying on a competitor I was looking at to validate my offer, and I found that these were the top locations for them, so that's what I was targeting. I would recommend to you, if you have a very low budget, just choose one country. Probably the US is going to be easiest. Some people will say, oh, the CPM is too high, it's going to be too expensive, but I just do the US. It's always worked the best for me. With digital products, you have such a high profit margin, basically the entire product, so it's definitely worth it if you're going to choose a high value country. Because they have the money to spend, and it's just an easy test. If you have more money to spend, you're more budget approved, then feel free to just test the top 5 countries. The only reason I say not to if you have a low budget is because it's kind of similar situation as if this was a campaign level budget. It's going to spend the money towards the different countries sporadically, not evenly, but I knew that these already were working, so I just used them myself. And the main thing to focus on here is really just having one creative under each ad set. Your creative is just what people are seeing when you run an ad, the image, the video, whatever it may be. So what I'm doing in simple campaign, 4 ad sets, one creative under each ad set. And that way I know that my daily budget on each ad set is going directly to its own ad creative, not splitting the budget between multiple at once. And what I'm really doing is testing my creatives. I've already validated my offer through market research before I ran ads. So now my objective is just to find ad creatives that generate profitable sales. And this is exactly what I launched for this new case study store. And on the first day, it made a sale. And this right here is what your campaign is going to look like once you set it up using this strategy. You're going to have one campaign, 4 ad sets inside of it, and one creative under each of those ad sets using daily budgets per ad set. And if you want to copy my columns, these are ones that I like to use, so I'm just going to scroll through them right now. You can pause the video, slow it down so you can adjust yours if you need to by going right here, clicking on this, and then clicking customize columns at the bottom. Now, your time to set up this campaign is really only going to be 10 to 15 minutes. It's pretty simple. And again, your objective is to identify ad creatives that generate sales. And the main rule I advise you following is turn off an ad set once it hits your break-even point without a sale. So this is a type of campaign where you're always putting in new ad sets, testing new creatives. That's the biggest play you can make right now in the world of advertising, is continuously testing new creatives. And we'll talk about that more as we get through this video. But if you have an ad set that spends, let's say $30 is your break-even point, your profit margin, and it doesn't make a sale, turn it off so you're just mitigating as much loss as you can. Some people are going to be more optimistic than others, like myself, because what I'm about to show you is something I tried for fun that failed, and I don't want you to lose money from it either. So I decided to try something I've never done because why not? I like having fun. I like trying out things that I've never done before because you never know. This might work really, really well, but unfortunately, this did not work how I expected it to. And what I did was create a CBO campaign. So what I did after making some sales with my ad set level budgets, I let those keep going, making some sales, and I figured, hey, I have a couple ad creatives that have made some profitable sales. I still have a lot of things that I want to test, so how could I do this a bit more efficiently? And I thought of this idea of something I would call a mega campaign. It turned out to not be so mega. It failed. And what I did was create a CBO campaign. So basically the budget is on the campaign level. I made 3 different ad sets with buckets. One ad set was proven. So this is where I put 3 creatives that had made profitable sales. Ad set 2 was image testing. This is where I was putting in images that I wanted to test. Ad set 3 was where I was testing videos that I wanted to test. And basically these ad sets were separated, a bunch of creatives under each. The $100 a day budget is being spread all over the place. And ultimately it did not work. I let it run for 3 days. It spent over $300 with only $50 in sales. But to explain my concept was to make one big campaign that would optimize with creatives that were already working, the proven, and also allow me to test massive amounts of new ones. Then when creatives would work, let's say in the image testing ad set, this number 2 was very profitable. Then I would move that into the proven ad set and just over time increase the budget of this campaign. And most of the budget was spent towards the proven ad set, but even that wasn't making sales. But what was making sales was the original ad sets in my testing campaign using ad set level budgets. So I decided just to stick to that. What I'm doing right now is in short, doing more of what works and less of what doesn't. So what I'm doing is testing similar creatives in ad sets at a lower budget because I found it's more profitable than at the $30 a day mark for me. So instead of doing the $30 per day ad sets, I'm testing creatives by, let's say duplicate this one at $10 per day and put image number 10 or whatever number it is. That's just how I name my ad creatives so I can keep up with what's working and what's not. Another thing that I'm doing is just raising the budget of break even and above ad sets. So if I have this ad set right here at $30 per day, it's break even or above profitable, then I'm going to raise the budget by 20 bucks, 30 bucks and see if it can continue its performance. The one thing I never do is edit an active ad set that's break even or above in a way that would put it into review. And the way that would happen would be by, changing something with the placements or the age or something like that. But just increasing the budget or decreasing the budget specifically does not put the ad back into review. Now, my current goal with these testing ads right now that I'm doing for the case study store is to identify consistently profitable ad creatives. But before scaling, I'm working out some kinks because I've had a few customers complain about the product, like on some certain things, and that would only magnify with scaling the ads. If you have problems with something and you're doing X amount of volume, you scale the volume, you're going to scale the problems. And that's not what I want to do. I want to fix the kinks, work them out, so that way I can scale with happy customers and everything else I'm doing in the business just to make it a smooth sailing process. And I recommend you do the same. You get proof of concept, you work out the kinks, you revise, and then you scale. Now, part two is the actual ad creative structure. Currently, I'm running image ads and video ads for this new store, and image ads have made the most sales so far. So what I'm doing is using a simple framework that includes a mock-up image and main benefit. This is an example of an image ad that I'm running. This is not what I'm actually running. This is an ebook that I have that I made personally that I put together here for an example so you can see kind of what I'm talking about. I use either Placeit.net or Media Modifier to create mockups for my digital products. So if you're doing an ebook, you can put the cover here on a mockup, on a laptop, on an iPad, on an iPhone, whatever you want. And then what I do is go over to Canva and make the actual ads themselves. And what I've seen work the best for my new case study store, which it's not this product, it's something completely different, but it's a digital product. And what I'm doing is using a mockup on this side, similar to this. I use the product name up here as like a title, and then I focus on the main benefits. And my objective with this image ad was to, one, keep things simple because simple scales, fancy fails. And I want to just not clickbait people because if you clickbait people on your ads, they're going to click on your ads, but when they get to your website and they see it costs money or it's more than they expect or it's not as valuable as they expect, they're never going to purchase. And you kind of just broke some trust with them. So instead, what I do is just focus on, okay, here's some perceived value I can create of the product. Here's the benefits of it. And people can click on it if they're ready to take action and learn more about it. Like, we're basically giving people a preview. I'm not selling the product here. The product page is what's going to sell the people and the value itself. This is just to get people interested enough to take an action. And this is an example of the image ad structure that I've been using. And what I recommend doing with this is, when doing it, is to create 4 very different versions of this when launching ads so that when you do run ads, there will be 1 or 2 variations that perform better than others. Maybe you put the image here on the right and you put the bullet points on the left. And, I recommend you would want to make the fonts and the icons and the colors to match up to your store and your offer and whatever you created in the previous video. So then after you do that, what I mentioned here, one of the things I'm doing is testing similar creatives. Is what I've done is, let's say this was making me sales and it was profitable. Then what I would do is want to make more variations of this and test it to see if I can get even more profitable ad creatives from this. Maybe I'm going to just change the order of these bullet points. Maybe I'm going to change the color on the background so it's not such a dark gray. Really what I'm doing is making variations, changing benefits, icons, colors, and the mock-up. Maybe even try adding the price or incentive to see if those can work and make profitable sales as well. Because the more profitable ad creatives you have, the better. And this is a good foundation to start with. And I also wanted to show you some video examples of some stores I found. This is one right here. Let me open up the ad library link. This store is doing, I believe, like $18K a month. Let's check it out real quick. Yeah, so this store has done over $18,000 in the last 30 days, mainly selling these different digital products that are Notion templates, which is pretty cool. And their ads are videos just basically displaying the product in kind of a UGC format. Let me show you here. I'm not going to play the music. I don't know if it's copyrighted, but it very much fits into the style of viral organic content. It shows the product. It uses the native text from TikTok, Instagram Reels so that it fits in. You don't want your ads to stand out like a massive billboard when you're doing these types of video ads, because then your CPMs will become very high. People aren't really going to be engaging with it compared to you want your ad when someone's scrolling through it to fit in, because when people are scrolling, it's melting their brain. It's mindless. So if you can just kind of fit into that scroll, then people are more likely to learn about your product and potentially click and purchase compared to immediately recognizing it's an ad and moving on. Another example is for this store right here selling an ebook. And this one's actually doing much more volume than the other one. It says here they've done over $200,000 in the last 30 days on their store selling these different ebooks. Now, this platform I'm using is called Dropship.io. And if you want to get it, I have an affiliate link in my description. And their video ads use kind of a mix of lifestyle content and UGC for their video ads. So I'm going to turn off the audio again here, but you can see it starts off kind of this anonymous lifestyle clip. And then when it does, is catches people's attention like a native video and then leads into this UGC. This girl saying, hey, you need to go get this ebook. It does this, this, and this. And yeah, this thing is selling like hotcakes. So good for them. Now, the goal in this stage, when I'm talking about ad creatives, is really just, again, find more creatives that make sales consistently and have the ability to spend more money on them profitably. That's the ultimate goal, right? If we could spend $1 and get $2 back, we want to spend as much money as we can, right? But to do that, we have to build a foundation first of testing creatives, getting this bucket of ad creatives that are consistently profitable and making sales. And while that's happening, it doesn't take much effort. We can revise some of the kinks in the store and the offer. Like, for example, my case study store, I raised the price yesterday just to see what would happen by $7. It's pretty dramatic for a lower ticket offer. And the conversion rate went up today. So, I mean, I'm happy about that. We'll see if it stays like that. But I'm just working out these kinks and making some additional changes like an upsell and stuff to see if that also increases the AOV. And overall, just building up the business a bit more before I scale it up. Because I think the worst thing you can do, and what many ex-dropshippers have done with physical products, is something works, that makes a couple sales, they spend as much money as can, as quick as possible. And, it's just this big up and then down compared to, okay, you use this testing strategy, you make creatives like I showed you, you're making some consistent sales, it's break even or above, you have proof of concept, and now you work out some of the kinks. You make the offer a little bit better, maybe you add an upsell, you change the pricing, you build out your email and SMS flows. So now when you scale, there's a lot more value you're going to be getting and that you're going to be giving through your business so that everybody wins as you start to scale up your ads, and it's not this big up and down. My whole objective with building these digital product businesses is to make them long-term and continue to provide solutions in different ways to the problem that you're solving. So like they're selling Notion templates, they're selling these ebooks for relationship things. They can sell all kinds of different digital products to solve these problems. But now what I want to do is get into the actual ad copy structure, which is part 3. And this is the framework. Start with the pain point, introduce the solution, break down the product, what it actually is, introduce the solution again, then a technical solution, and then a call to action. I know it might be kind of confusing just saying it here, so let's do an example for this ebook that I have. I have an ebook called Online Income Revolution. So what I'm trying to do is sell this ebook to people who are interested in digital dropshipping, maybe don't have the budget to work with me in any of my other programs, so they just want to get started with this. I start with a pain point. Dropshipping doesn't have to be complicated, or you don't have to sell products from overseas. That's a pain point. And then I introduce a solution. With Online Income Revolution, you will learn how to sell digital products instead of physical ones using a simple 7-day step-by-step guide where you'll then, here's the breakdown. So I did the pain point, the solution, now the breakdown. This is the breakdown of the product. You're going to see how to open a store, choose a niche, create a product, all these great things. And then I introduce the solution again, introducing the Online Income Revolution guide, teaching you exactly how to utilize the next-gen business model. Then technical solution. technical solution, whereas you get more into like pricing and then how it actually works. So since this is an ebook, say, for only $17, this guide is available for download immediately after purchase and is filled with pages of step-by-step value. And then I do a call to action here at the bottom with the actual link. Now, one quick note while it's on my mind is that when you're running your Facebook ads and you're in the section of your ad level, you put your image or your video and you put your ad copy, and you get to choose the call to action button if you want it to be learn more, shop now, download. I've found that no matter what type of product, learn more has always worked the best, and I'm still using it to this day. I've tested, even for the new case study store, trying shop now or download, and learn more has just always worked the best. And that's what I would recommend you do as well. Basically, you're going to take this framework right here and the example I've showed you and replace it with your own product and your own offer so that you can start testing. Another note as well, I forgot to mention, with your campaign structure when testing, I'm using the same ad copy on all these creatives when starting out because I only like to change one variable at a time. If these are all different headlines, different ad copies and everything else, I'm not going to know what the hell's working. That's why the main variable I'm testing is just the actual image or video being used. And that way it's non-biased testing. Now, part 4 here is the landing page structure. I wanted to show you this as a bonus because I think it could be helpful for some of you that want to go the extra mile. My conversion rate on the new case study store has been over 2%. Today so far is over 3% since I raised the price. And I wanted to show you what I'm doing because it's not just a normal Shopify product page. I've used the app gym pages to customize it a little bit and just make it more specifically, to focus on the product. It's really like a one product store structure. So I have my store and then the navigation, instead of having home, about us, collections, and products and all these different things, it's very simple. I have my logo and my navigation, which is first navigation is going to be the product. So if my product is Online Income Revolution, it's going to say that. Then I'm going to have, let's say, reviews and then a contact page. So no matter where they go, there's no distractions. It's only pointing towards this one product, this one offer. And I recommend if you're starting digital dropshipping, start with one offer. And here's kind of what this looks like. I just used Freeform on my computer to make this. It's not perfect, but it shows you kind of the format and the layout that I've been using. So I have my logo, navigation, and I put a little banner that has my end outcome statement. So let's say I'm selling presets, for example. I could put my banner as what's the end outcome? Transform your photos and grow your page. Because let's say my product helps people make their pictures better and grow their Instagram page. That would be my banner. And then I have here my product page. And really what I just do is have the product name. I have the image mockup over here, the price, and then I put bullet point benefits. So my benefits are X. Transform your photos within just a few clicks, grow your page, whatever your main benefits are. These are usually just a few words each. You don't want to have a crazy long description. And then your call to action button. I recommend not doing an add to cart and then they go from cart to checkout, then checkout to purchase. Instead, just make this button go directly to checkout. That's something you can do with gym pages. Next, I have a section here where I just focus again more on the problems. People want to transform their photos and grow their page, or they want to start a digital dropshipping business. So I'm going to focus on those pain points. Are you tired of your pictures not looking how you want? I completely get it. It's not always easy to do XXX. You're building relatability. You're selling the product. You can put some type of image here. It doesn't have to just be a mock-up, something related to your niche. Then you're going to have another section, call to action to your product. Introduce it, put a button here, break down the product. Again, you repeat the product page part from up here. You put it down again. Then you would have reviews if you have them, and then frequently asked questions, and then your footer. So these are just the type of sections that I'm using right now, and that's what's been getting me a pretty decent conversion rate so far. And again, the main idea here is just to keep everything pointing to the consumer's needs and how the product is the solution to their problem. There's not a lot of extra pages or anything to get someone lost or confused. Everything points to the solution on the website. And this customization can all be done through the app gym pages on Shopify. I don't have an affiliate link, or they're not paying me for this video, but that's what I use to create my stores right now. So what I'm going to do now is, first of all, I hope you've gotten a ton of value from this video and it can help you start making sales with your digital dropshipping store. And I would love, when you make your first digital product sale, to drop a comment and let me know so that I can see that. And when this video gets 750 likes, I'm going to make an update video on my new case study store, and I'm going to show you how it's performing and exactly what strategies I've been using to grow the business. So I know that'll be in a few weeks from now. So I'll have new strategies, new things going on that I can share with you that are currently up to date, helping me make more sales, generate more profit, and ultimately grow a successful digital dropshipping business. So if you want to see that video, and if you enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a big like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.